there are also people actually who type out their lists, right? The people that you worked with in your small system also had something to do with the methods you chose. Perhaps your daughter is a management student and she has made a PERT chart for the whole process. Okay, and of course, it all depended on how much time you had to plan, how much, right? And what kind of information you could get, and on and whether or not you find the planning process itself interesting and rewarding. Now, that was a long story about a familiar process. Let us step back from the details of planning now to look at what you were doing overall. You were responsible for planning for a small system, which is your family. You probably thought about how to plan as well as about the vacation you were planning for. So you did some planning to plan as well as some planning, right? And you did some planning to learn from the experience. Throughout, you analyzed your system and its circumstances or environment. Correct? You created and considered alternative strategies and made a decision for one. Then you acted. Let's hope you learned from your mistakes. Much of what you made a decision for one. So, much of what you did was aimed at preparing your family for the eventual vacation. In a general sense, you were planning to help your family adapt to the chosen vacation environment so that your goal would be accomplished. In a sense, you asked yourself what would be like in the future when you got there and what you needed to know and in the future to enable you to best accomplish by our goal in that vacation environment. In planning for the adaptation of your system to its future environment, you had to take into account many other systems. You may have consulted a travel agency or gone to a library to get a book about the area. You probably wrote or telephoned ahead to get hotel and transportation reservations. All family members had to make adjustments in their day to day living to go away. Depending on your culture, music lessons might have been delayed. Someone may have been asked to watch the house, or perhaps a soccer game was missed. In short, you had to coordinate your plans with the plans and resources of other systems. When you did this, in effect, you brought those other systems into your own system, even if only briefly. So the reservation clerk did things for your system. The teacher changed her schedule, maybe. The soccer team had to start another player. Perhaps your boss had to be persuaded to let you go and your banker or your moneylender to give you a loan. Without these changes in individual and other systems, your own temporary vacation system could not function. In short, you planned for them, and in doing so, made them part of your system. In a sense, you changed them, at least what they do. Of course, these others may not think of themselves as part of your system. They see themselves in a different perspective from your own and think of themselves as parts of other systems: the bank, the soccer team, the hotel, the bus line, the music school. In fact, when they make their plans for their systems, they reverse the process you may have used. They include you in their system. This is one of the main causes of interdependency, an important aspect of social systems. So, in short, who and what is considered to be within any one system is largely a matter of perspective. So, if you had an ambitious goals and many resources, you may even have considered directly changing the future vacation environment itself in order to achieve these goals. For example, if you are very rich, you might build your own private resort at a seaside with a swimming pool and a tennis court and live there half of the year. The existence of your resort would change the other elements of the vacation community. It would perhaps create jobs for servants, take some of the beach away from the public, or serve as an example to other rich people to do the same thing. This latter, of course, would greatly change the vacation community. It would change the environment to which your system would adapt in the future. If many others moved in, you might have to leave to find the solitude you were looking for originally. The simple example illustrates the complex interdependencies of systems adapting to each other and to the environment. In building your vacation home, you would have tried to change only those aspects of the vacation environment which would enable you to achieve your goal. What is important is that those elements which you chose to change would be ones which you thought you could change in order to achieve your goals. You could buy land for that house, but you probably could not change the shape of the seashore for a number of reasons. First, it might be too expensive. Second, the local community, that is, other elements in the vacation environment, might strongly oppose you. And if you could overcome this opposition and did change the shape of the seashore by blasting out your own boat harbor, there would be significant effects on other elements of the environment, like the path of ocean currents would change, leading to erosion of someone else's land. There might be effects on ocean life, reducing or probably increasing the income of local fishermen. And the next large storm might wash your house away. So, in planning to adapt your vacation system to its future environment, you faced a range of choices about the way in which you could or would plan your system to adopt to the environment. You also faced a range of choices about the kinds of changes in the environment that might be necessary and possible in achieving your goal. And you may even have considered the interdependency of your vacation system with the environment and other systems in making these choices. You planned your system to adapt to the environment as it is or as you think you can make it become. In both cases, you pay close attention to changes that are occurring in the environment and which might be expected to occur in the future, whether you have tried to cause these changes or not. These changes are the evidence which lead you to change your plans and even your goals in order to maintain the successful adaptation of your system. In the pages that follow, we shall lay out a conceptual framework of planning for your inspection. The ideas in the framework will be the ideas touched on in our story of vacation planning, but expressed in a somewhat more abstract form. Why is such a framework necessary? Communication planning, like all planning, can be a very complex process. We believe, in fact, that there is no single best process. Each planner or a group of planners must work out a way to plan which fits their planning environment, their system, and their goals. Only then can planning be most effective. To do this, planners need a framework within which to consider the large numbers of choices they have about how to plan. These choices include a choice of methods to use in various elements of planning, and methods are what this course is all about. So, the purpose of the framework is to provide you with a way of looking at planning which would help you evaluate and choose among the methods presented. It may also help you to look at your planning within a new perspective seeing new or different ways to approach this complex, challenging, and critically important part of human endeavor.